Silvanna's ultimate that can't miss. True damage from War Axe. Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server featuring the item War Axe and Silvanna. First is Silvanna, and her ultimate will now require a target. As you can see, it can't be used if there's no hero to lock onto. That means you can't miss with her new ultimate. And with this change, you can just use auto-aim because it will automatically lock on a target. The only downside to this is that you can't use it to escape. As you can see, it doesn't work on minions and jungle creeps. Another update is her first skill. She will now dash and then swing her spear around. Enemies that are near the area will be stunned for 1 second. This is a good initiating skill against multiple enemies. The stun is instant and it has a big range. Teamfight potential just went up for Silvanna because of her first skill. Remember, it's an AoE stun with a dash. Perfect for surprising enemies. And lastly, the cooldown of her second skill is lowered, but it will now start after the skill is done. Her combo is also improved because of the short animation on her first skill. So yeah, this is one good buff for Silvanna, right? Her ultimate looks better, but I think her first skill has a bigger impact because of its AoE stun and dash effect. But one drawback is mobility. Skill 1 is now an all-in skill, which means no options for escape. And her ultimate can be used on other targets except an enemy hero. What do you think? Is Roamer now a better role for Silvanna? Next is the nerf on Bruno. The developer said they want to avoid his overuse in high-rank play and tournaments, so they lower his early and mid-game damage. First skill now has a lower base damage with a minus 20 to 45 points. Next is the nerf on Guinevere. The developer said she's unstoppable with her previous adjustments, so they had to make some changes. First skill will have a lower base damage, but the scaling will be higher. It's basically a nerf for the tank build Guineveres because they rely mostly on base damage. And her second skill will have a longer cooldown in the early and mid stages of the game. Next is the nerf on Terizla. His ultimate will have a weaker slow effect and the cooldown will be longer by 10 to 6 seconds. They said his ultimate has become a greater threat, that's why they had to do this. Next is the revamped Nana. They're keeping her ability to transform multiple enemies just like this. Remember, transforming multiple enemies can only work if you hit them all at once. On the other hand, a chasing Molina can only transform one enemy. And Molina can only stay on the ground for 5 seconds. But upon further testing, it seems Molina can only stay for 3 seconds. So what I've noticed is the shorter range of Molina. It's so small compared to the official server version. That means enemies can easily avoid its range, making it less effective for zoning. The good news is that the CC duration is now longer, from 1.5 to 1.8 seconds. And her ultimate is now faster and smoother. And for those wondering, the stun is still there. So she lost Molina's big range in exchange for the ability to transform multiple enemies. But hey, 1.8 seconds is pretty long, right? What can you say Nana means? Next is the buff on Masha. The developer said her adjustments didn't meet their expectations because she's not durable enough and the HP cost of her skills are too high. To fix this, they had to lower the HP requirement of her first skill from 25 down to 15%. And she now heals better when attacking minions with her first skill. But the damage will have to take a hit. The HP-based percentage is now fixed at 2.5% on all levels, and they cut the base damage by half. Second skill will now restore energy upon hitting a non-minion target. And its HP cost is now at 5% from a previous 10. So it's not so useless now, right? Ultimate will now have a lower HP cost of 5% on all levels. As for her passive, she will now gain 25% hybrid defense when losing 1 HP bar. When she is at her last HP bar, she gains 50% hybrid defense. There's also the new effect where she removes all debuffs when only 1 HP bar is left. Isn't she immune already? Can someone explain how this works? Anyway, because of these changes, she now has a bit of defense and her HP costs aren't that high anymore. But in return, they had to lower her first skill damage. Is it enough to make her more usable? Next is Cici, and we can now hear her voice.
Let's hear from the crowd! Make some noise for yours truly!
She's the hero on the main interface, so you'll have to get used to her voice.
Remember, any great day is just one smile away. don't blink, or you're gonna miss the show. Welcome to my show. There's always a seat for you. Looks like y'all are really asking for an encore. We're gonna be good friends. I just know it. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Show isn't over yet. Get him, Yo-Yo. Lights out.
Some nerfs had to be applied on Cici because of the recent adjustments on War Axe and Brute Force Breastplate. Spell Vamp on her stacks will be limited to 1% each. The HP-based damage on her first skill is also lowered. Now let's move on to the item War Axe. It will now give true damage when you have full stacks instead of the previous damage increase bonus. As you can see, each damage ideal has a true damage counterpart. And it works on both basic attack and skills. Extra damage coming from items such as Cursed Helmet will not have true damage. Damage from multi-hit skills will all have true damage just like this. Based on the description, it deals 10% extra true damage. 10% of what exactly? Damage? And because of this, they had to lower the physical attack on each stack from 16 down to 12 points. Last one is the Brute Force Breastplate. Each stack will now give 6 physical attack and 6 magic power. This means magic power heroes can now use it like Silvanna and Esmeralda. Another example is Bane, right? And that's it for our weekly advanced server update. My guess is that this update will be implemented before Season 30 ends, which is around December 19. Yes, so get ready for some meta-changing adjustments on Season 31. So what can you say about Silvanna's new skills? Do you like the new War Axe effect? Share your thoughts in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.